afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting Propagandacast from the host, Imperial Dane, featuring today on Monday Novice Fight, a 2 vs 2 on rails and metals. We shall be watching as the 3rd Armoured Division makes a breakthrough attempt to punch through the German lines, while the 107th Panzer Brigade counterattacks under raresb99 and Gangnamstyle. That is so 212. But nonetheless, fighting there for the Panzer Elite. Opposing them shall be Ourson 61 and Parti2an, or Parti2an, I suppose. Some sort of attempt to be clever. Barracks at the edge of the base, although this is the slightly more awkward base placement. Wehrmacht quarters up for a Wehrmacht friend. Nothing as such for Gangnamstyle as of yet. But 2 squads of Panzer Grenadiers already going out. He's probably going to be supplying the more infantry-heavy efforts of this fight. Engineers moving westwards. Pioneers moving right there. Probably going to focus around here, secure the fuel there, lay up a defensive position around this house. This house seeing a lot of fighting on rails and metals. First unit out is the Volksgrenadier squad, so raresb99 shall not be neglecting the infantry. That is a nice sight. Riflemen soon ready, and there we go. Ourson getting 1 squad of riflemen, and a rifleman squad out for Pattons as well. No heavy machine gun start nonsense. Getting crowd securing a nice part in territory. Panzer Grenadiers securing the strategic points, which is alright. So, Wehrmacht efforts continue up here. Riflemen and engineers moving up. We'll probably be seeing our first engagement within minutes, well, seconds preferably. At the same time, more stuff on the way from Gangnamstyle. Points are being secured, right moving up, and there we go, opening up on the Pioneers. Volksgrenadiers engaging, and there we go. Both are in heavy cover, except the Pioneers with a bit easier targets. Who shall be the winners of this first engagement? At the same time, Panzer Gunners are getting dangerously close to the American engineers and their riflemen. Of course, they could quickly jump into the trench, well, somewhat quickly, and do some work there. Another rifleman squad arrives for Ourson, and an MG42 coming out for raresb99. Germans are making good headway with the infantry approach, and we're actually seeing the Pioneers moving up to flank that. At the same time, they're moving out ahead. Oh dear, he must have forgotten that he actually shift-clicked them. And there we go, the Pioneers got killed on the streets. That was a waste, quite frankly. At the same time, medic station is going up for Ourson, but his position is getting flanked by a squad of Panzer Gunners, but we are seeing riflemen going to move in and hit in from the north. In fact, both Panzer Gunners have been split up, making them easier targets for riflemen, although Parti2an here needs to get these chaps into cover. On the other hand, there we go, 1 squad of Panzer Gunners gone, only 1 left. We are seeing another squad arriving though, and no Gewehr 43 upgrades for any of the Panzer Grenadiers. That's a bit unfortunate. MG42 opening up here in support of the Volksgrenadiers down south. Riflemen down, but we do see the medic station. Incendiary grenades up for Gangnamstyle. He's saving the munitions for incendiary grenades, and he's just denying cover to his opponent. A very nice job, but again, just note here again, cover is directional. You have to be on the right side for it to count. In this case, it always wasn't, but incendiary grenade on top does not hurt. Melee station continue to pull in the wounded. Panzer Gunners now flank the position right here. Ourson is in trouble after Partisans' misstep, who's going for the medic station himself. And a machine gun emplacement pretty early on. I think that's a bit too early, and denied himself some infantry right there to push against the Huns with. Now the riflemen here are in a nasty position, as we do see a nice bit of teamwork here between Gangnamstyle and raresb99 behind, where the Panzer Grenadiers move in to flank the riflemen. We do see the engineers and the medics seem to have been cut down, but more medics are on the way, and we do see the riflemen in a nasty position. The MG42 finally did the job. More Volksgrenadiers are arriving for raresb99. The Panzer Brigade pushes forwards. For now, though, the Americans might be able to take some territory if they're quick about it. Medics continue to pull in the wounded. More riflemen might be needed for Ourson, but he has a jeep instead, which is perhaps not going to cut the job quite as nicely. And Parti2an pushing forwards as well. We are seeing a logistic company going up for Gangnamstyle. Ken Cry charges in, Panzer Gunners providing support. Bunker going up, and we're also seeing an observation post up from raresb99. A pretty quick non as well. He's probably going to expect some sort of vehicular play. Of course, also some veterans, and obviously some fuel as well for his teammate. I mean, an observation post tends to be a much better investment in a team game than a 1 versus 1, since of course there'll be more than one player benefiting. So nice little bit there. Panzer Gunners moving up. And another incendiary grenade right there on the cover, burning away the Yankees. And they actually remain, but there we go, leaving out again, making them easier targets for the Panzer Grenadiers. And there we go, full retreat. Fighting continues up here, shooting down the medic station. And that way, the medic station was not so well placed. I mean, out in the open tends to be not so well. What you want to have them is, close to the front line, but at the same time, want them to be a bit hard for the opponent to reach. For example, here would have been a better choice, or behind this tree. I mean, there's a trick to playing medic stations or medic bunkers. This, on the other hand, close to the front line, but at the same time not directly accessible. But there we go. Nice flank going in. Medic station does go down, though. Volksgunners and riflemen, engineers and riflemen attacking the Volksgunners. There we go. MG42 in the house. Quickly suppresses the assault. Quickly stopping it, but not without causing some damage to the German Volksgrenadier. And there we go. Full assault going in. We're also seeing the Panzer command up, since we can see assault rifles on the Panzer Grenadiers, sweeping away the riflemen. And a German tide of bullets. We are seeing a supplier going up for Parti2an. In fact, it's time to have a look at Parti2an. We're also seeing a supply going up for Ourson. So we might be seeing a motor pool soon, and perhaps some armoured cars. Engineers on the run. Panzer Grenadiers making good progress in the name of the fatherland. We might be seeing some armoured cars soon. At the same time, Krieg barracks going up for raresb99. Medics pulling in the German wounded. Panzer Grenadiers so far holding up the front, although raresb99 should be quick to move up and perhaps, provide some further pressure on the axis. But nice progress there. Might want to spread out a bit further here. More assault rifles are getting equipped. And of course, the question is, how will the Americans respond? Now we're seeing one armored doctrine up. The question is, what will the other player go for? And there we go, assault rifles quickly getting into cover, although we do see flamethrowers being employed. And we do see the stone wall cracking under the extreme heat. Panzer is taking heavy loss. Another squad that moves in, coming under a bit under fire. Lots of riflemen here sticking to the light, cover behind the fences, providing support fire. Engineers don't need to get away there. There we go, armoured car as well. Heavy losses looks like to be going in for Parti2an. Flame for engineers squad down. And it looks like this medic station could get cleared out. We are seeing medics pulling in the wounded, but they are becoming targets. Another medic station going up for Ourson. Panzer Grenadiers being lit on fire. Cooked. Krauts. One last man firing away. Hiding by the barn. And there we go. Retreat. Armoured car, though, proves to be a nuisance. We're seeing a Kampfkraft center now up for raresb99. Pack out as well. And there we go. The Volksgrenadiers are marching out as well. Pushing in. A nice movement there with the armoured car providing a bit of Unterstützung. And a medic quickly pulling back that Panzer Grenadier. Opening up on the medic station. And flamethrowers opening up on the Germans. Riflemen moving in, though not fully healed. A trio center could be an idea for either player. Although looks like Ourson has one. In that sense, And of course, it's a bit trickier when there's such a distance between the two bases. But what Parti2an could consider sending over his troops here to be healed and reinforced, because you can reinforce your opponent's base, its teammate's base, and then that way sort of keep things going. That's a nice little teamwork trick, but again, works better when there's a closer proximity between the two allied bases. So of course, I know if, it might not do it, but it can work. Lots of medics are on the move, picking up the wounded. Running forwards, and we are seeing the first Greyhound now. Ourson actually pushing one out, and at the same time, tank depot going out for Parti2an. So a more mechanized approach had the 3rd Armored really gearing up for war, für die Krieg. And of course, having a medic bunker up when you're Wehrmacht with some infantry, and of course you have a Panzer teammate, is a good idea. Ensures there's a lot of wounded. Of course, you can sort of ensure there's not that many losses. Of course, also going medic station while the Americans. Again, also a nice idea, in particular when all that infantry, some of the medics are bound to get past and back. So, nice things there. Nice things. Observation post there as well. In fact, both sides having an observation post up on the fuel. Interesting to see. And there we go, increased squad sizes, and looks like Gangnamstyle is falling for the temptation. He is blobbing up, which again is very dangerous. And basically, with all these panzers, all it takes is then that Ourson goes for airborne, gets a strafing run, and then lots of dead panzer gunners. We're also seeing a Marder actually pulling up. Panzer brigades did not really have Marders, but I suppose they could have gotten in from some infantry division, been forced to detach it to support the Panzer brigade's counterattack, provide some more anti-tank fire. Volkswagen moving forward, veteran 2, lots of MP40s. And there we go, the Panzer is moving up. A wave of them. 2 Greyhounds there, although one has already taken heavy damage. Panzer is under heavy fire. If there were Browning automatics, they could also unleash some suppressive fire on the Panzer Grenadiers, which could also work quite nicely. But there we go, wrapping up in heavy cover. But we are seeing the wave continue. There's not enough fire to really lay down, and they could, of course, get this incendiary grenades locked. And there we go, out. Need to retreat, need to retreat. There's just so much fire. The Raven are just getting murdered. I mean, that was a massacre. Or even a grenade right here could have done absolutely well. Again, I mean, he's blobbing up, which is in some ways giving a lot of firepower, but also giving him a lot of vulnerabilities. Oh, Raven Squad getting murdered. Again, Flamethrowers doing what they can, but they can't quite stop it. Marders providing covering fire, keeping the Greyhounds at bay, although in theory... Oh, wait, there's also the pack, so yeah. And there we go, losses being inflicted. Medics getting murdered. Armoured cars providing a bit of fire support with the 50 calibers and 37mm guns. Will force the Germans to move up, Grenadier with a Panzerschreck. Volkswagen's moving up, and the medics just keep murdering these Panzer Grenadiers on a killing spree. Though some of them should retreat, they are in a very terrible condition. But again, the Panzer Grenadiers were very much equipped like that. The Panzer Grenadiers, there's lots of assault rifles, because that was supposed to be what they get. They'd be a lot less men, but again, in theory, they'd have a lot more firepower in terms of the assault rifles. And half-tracks, but we're not quite seeing those from Gangnamstyle. Of course, another thing... Oh, lots of incendiary grenades. They're not quite doing the trick fully. Marder pulling up. Armor car taking a hit. A very nasty hit. Raven standing about. Grenadiers, veterans, it's 3 already for raresb99. Definitely means heavier troops, and we don't actually see an anti-tank. And up there we go, and we are actually seeing something come out for Partisan, a Sherman. Looks like the Panzer Grenadiers are finally leaving. The Grenadiers closely knocking out the medic station, which was not able to recover full squad, sadly. And there we go, the M4 Sherman is out for the 3rd Armoured. Great armoured car pulling up to support the other one. Marder 3 a bit exposed. There's only the Grenadiers. In fact, if the armoured cars and the Sherman was to charge in there, they could in fact knock out the Marder 3 and do some nasty stuff there. And the pack is way too forward to backtrack to sort of provide some real support. Volkswagen is now taking heavy losses. Keep up the tempo. Push forwards. Oh dear, I actually forgot having a raresb99. 3 infantry squads, but again a lot of veterancy. I think that might be a bit too much veterancy, plus currently a lot of resources being floated. Not good either. I think you should consider getting another Grenadier squad or something else. But the Greyhounds, there we go. 1 armoured car down, quickly coming under fire from the pack. Sticky bombs galore. Browning automatics for our sons, riflemen. And there we go, Greyhound out of control. MG though quickly locking down this infantry assault, but there we go, more sticky bombs, an armoured car making it behind the pack. Sherman pulling up, and there we go, immobilized. The Greyhound though should focus on clearing out the pack. Quickly move again, Ourson. Oh dear, that was too close for comfort. Raven though continue, and there we go, Marder down. The Sherman though needs to keep moving. They need to try and get that pack so they can move out and clear out the MG in the house. But at the same time, another Marder rolls up for Gangnamstyle, and the Panzer Brigade and Panzer Commando are going up for raresb99. And there we go, pack decrewed. There's still the MG in the house, but it could be cleared out by a simple flanking maneuver up here by some sort of vehicle or any sort of infantry with a grenade. Sadly, that is not apparent, but we are seeing infantry pulling up again. Grenadiers, Volks Grenadiers, and there we go, the full wave of Panzer Grenadiers, all offensive veterans who won, making these are quite an assault troop, a full assault platoon.
Americans are seizing territory from us.
Definitely going to be able to overwhelm most infantry forces, but on the other hand, they will be a bit lacking in the whole shooting up tanks department. There we go, Sherman in the way. Immediately opening up on the Panzer Grenadiers, who do not stand a chance. So definitely a bit of a mistake there by Gangnamstyle. Sherman though needs to press on, perhaps with some support. Machine gun inflation going up there to perhaps stop the wave of Panzer. Another medic station up for Partisan. Sherman advances. Marder now much further back. Pack recruit. Let's go look at Gangnamstyle. Panzer Grenadiers again lobbing forwards. A huge wave. Only the Sherman really hope they've told back. He might be worried about anti-tank grenades. And there we go. We're actually seeing anti-tank grenades up. Rather interesting approach. And there we go. 50 caliber actually manages to suppress. And Partisans rifle now also have the Browning automatics, and there we go. Suppressive fire forces away the Panzers. Volksguns though charge in at another rifle squad, could finish it off up close. And there we go. The Volksguns end their lives. Another attempt by the Panzer Grenadiers. They're coming under direct fire from the Sherman and the rifle and the anti-tank gun. Flamethrowers up close. And nice maneuver up here by Ourson, finally shifting a bit up to perhaps attack the flanks a bit. And if Partisan was to do the same up here, they could actually do some damage again. This is a very open spot of territory. Always try to find the weak link and try to push through there. If we are seeing flamethrower engineers moving up, and still no chance of perhaps also pushing some armor up here to clear out this MG, which has actually also been turned this house into a forward barracks. Points are being taken away from the Germans. The Krauts are in a bit of trouble. Riflemen under intense fire from the Marder 3. Ritterkreuzträger for raresb99 as well. A bit quiet all of a sudden, and there we go. Kampfgruppe company up for Gangnamstyle. Another assault grenadiers as well. A bit odd since he actually has the munitions for it. I mean, a rule of thumb is if as the Panzer Elite can expend munitions instead of manpower, do so. Don't do it the other way around. There goes assault going up here, but is quickly stopped by a sizable infantry force from the Germans with the Ritterkreuzträger. Charging right in towards the center, towards the victory point. Right, doing what they can, but they're a bit outmaneuvered. There we go. Another push. Still nothing that could even resemble a strafing run again. If they had that, they could really do some damage. We're seeing suppressive fire, and the Panzers are getting suppressed a bit. Another unit goes down for the Americans, and there we go. Retreat. Medic stations, though, have reformed at least one squad. Another thing to consider would basically getting a weapons support center and laying down a 30 caliber and basically just suppressing the Panzers as they charge forwards. Sherman moves up, needs to be careful. There's the Marder, and there's not an anti-tank providing support. Oh, there we go. Perhaps trying to lure them into the 30 caliber machine gun emplacement. Rifleman on the move from Ourson again. Third armoured a bit held back, and there we go. raresb99 getting a Panther. Panzer Brigades usually only had Panther release the earlier sort of waves. There was basically two waves of Panzer Brigades. First one had the best equipment, the second one had the not so good equipment, but I believe they also might have had larger numbers and a bit more other things. Marder pulls up, there we go. Nice hit on the Sherman. Now the Panther opens up as well. Pack opens up with the Panther. German infantry marches forward under fire from the 30 caliber emplacement. Panzer goes up on the flank. Main gun destroyed on the Sherman. Nitro Cross getting suppressed, Volksguns getting suppressed, anti-tank and continues to fire away. It needs to get armor-piercing rounds up on it to increase the penetration and the damage. Panzer goes there, right next to the machine gun emplacement. If only there were a grenade, but there we go. Sherman moving up, could get off a nice shot, and the riflemen just getting gunned down there out in the open. They're in no cover, and the assault rifles can just fire indiscriminately. It's the bloody well like shooting apples in a barrel or something like that. And there we go, grenade firing away. Anti-tank gun decrewed. Panzers are softening a bit, and there we go, a nice hit from the Sherman, but they continue nonetheless. Machine gun emplacement in trouble. The Panzers are getting suppressed. There we go, really nice hit. Several Panzers are going to just go down in that volley. And a Calliope is up for Ourson. Calliope, which means he's also gone armoured. Both players have gone armoured. That's definitely a novice mistake. You don't have both players go for the same doctrine. That means you're a lot less, tactically flexible. I mean, again, some sort of infantry or airborne doctrine would have been a nice synergy with the armor. Again, for example, with the blobbing Panzer Grenadier player, a strafing run could absolutely devastate that. And we are seeing Scorched Earth, and we are seeing Hummels now coming out for Gangnamstyle, and we are seeing raresb99 now getting MGs for his Grenadiers. But let's return to Ourson. The situation is a bit problematic. He's very low in infantry. He's got 2 squads left, anti-tank, and then 2 Calliopes. Blasting the German position right here. Burning away at the house, killing a Grenadier. I wonder what actually happened to the MG42. Must have been cleared out. Previously unnoticed. Partisan continues to push up here. There's a Marder blasting away at the machine gun emplacement. Could get overwhelmed. Kedenkrat here could also, and in fact, it's gone. German infantry assault going up. Grenadiers in support. And there we go. Hummels firing away again. American players shouldn't really be blobbing up either. 150mm high explosive rounds flying through the air. Though so far, actually taking quite a toll. But looks like the Marder does make the escape. And there we go. Panzer Grenadiers nearby to provide support. There we go. Retreating. And already 1 hit, 7 kills. Again, you should be careful with blobbing up. There we go. Panzer Grenadiers moving up at the riflemen. Medics pulling in the wounded. All the wounded from that artillery strike. And there we go. Another retreat. Incendiary grenades and a Calliope barrage straight on the Panzer Grenadiers. Machine gun placement opening up as well. Pack sneaking up, opening up on the machine gun placement there. Panther could be used as well to try and batter it down. Veterans one going up there. And another Calliope barrage, this time against the Pack and the infantry right next to it. Taking heavy losses, Volkswagen is almost down, in fact. raresb99 needs to be a bit careful. Engagement opening up here, and there we go. 1 Sherman is down, but the Marder goes down as well. Panzer is now in heavy trouble. But a Marder for a Sherman, I'd say that's a pretty good trade. And now the Panther arrives. And that's definitely going to force away the Sherman. He should consider at least just getting a few more tank destroyers actually just to support the Shermans. And provide some more anti-tank fire. And there we go. Another Panther out for raresb99. And the 107th Panzer Brigade. Riflemen, they're continuing their advance. Sticky bomb off on the armoured car. Going to knock it out. And now there's just the Panthers. Holding up the entirety of the left side. That is less good. We are seeing infantry reinforcement arriving. Grenadiers with an MG in tow. And another howitzer barrage from the Hummel. Rifleman taking a bit of a beating on the retreat. And raresb99 has to remember, of course, that MGs only shoot when you're standing still. And looks like something went down. Probably some pioneers. It's always the pioneers. But 7 and 4 kills on the Calliope rifle. Now advancing up again. Blobbing up. Be careful blobbing up. Suppressive fire against the Grenadiers. And the Knight's Cross. Panther moves for support. Veterans 2 adding an MG on top of the Panther. Knight's Cross and the Grenadiers on the retreat. Now the question becomes, what does Ourson do? He gets a tank depot. Germans still holding up here, but they could be dislodged by a good solid attack. But again, we are seeing a bit more focusing up, clumping up, which again does mean your attack can be locked down a bit easier. Now we go, the Panzers again storming forwards. Will this be suppressive fire? Instead it looks like the riflemen are just dropping like flies. We do see a grenade up, but a bit too late. And there we go, rifleman squad down. Now looks like the anti-tanker might be next, and trying to get the Calliopes, but the anti-tanker is definitely decrewed. So definitely not a good engagement there for the Americans, but a great one for the Germans. The Panzer Brigades can be happy about that one. And the Panzer Brigades themselves were a rather funny idea. They were actually specifically designed in mind for dealing with Soviet assaults, more specifically the Soviet spearhead. But a lot of them were actually used on the Western Front, where rather the Americans, of course, had a lot of different conditions, meaning the Panzer Brigades were usually less effective. Most of them were basically handed over to other divisions as replacements later on. A few were formed into full divisions. I believe the 107th, in fact, was formed into the 25th Panzer Grenadier Division, but otherwise most of them were disbanded. There was even one SS Panzer Brigade on the Eastern Front, which was just basically formed by taking some training personnel and just shaping it into a brigade to quickly counterattack something. But basically, for the most part, they had very little training, very little experience. What they had was some fancy equipment.
Quit your yapping and get ready to move.
Sherman out for Ourson.
What are my coordinates?
And it's actually time to have a look at Parti2an, who looks like he's trying to get a Pershing. Lovely that. Again, looks like a Panzer squad could get a rifleman squad. Veterans are free. Good lord. Really taking a toll on the Americans, just tearing them up. They should be careful, should be careful. Could go down, and they go down. Bit of a reckless attack right there, Parton. And Ourson gets Shermans now, and artillery right there on all the concentrated infantry. Again, I have no idea why they're blobbing when they can just get so easily hit by the Hummel. Practically begging to get blown into bits. Pershing arriving now for Parti2an. Sherman should be careful with the Panzer Grenadiers, with the anti-tank grenades, but does get off a nice kill there. And Sherman moves up on the flank. Looks like it will be clearing out the anti-tank gun. Nope. Looks like the Sherman is in trouble as two Panthers arrive. Veterans are free now. Calliope barrages. Looks like the American offensive has, for the moment, run out of steam. Lacking volume to attack, partly again through trying to attack the heaviest point instead of trying to find the weak point and do some damage that way. Bit of a shame, Grenadiers rather in the line of fire. Tank destroyer now arriving. No idea why he's charging it in like that. Seems a bit wasteful by Ourson.
Ready for battle.
And a half track now arriving. Oh, looks like he's getting the Stuka zu Fuß. And the Hummel. Oh, getting off a nice hit there. Getting very dangerous there. Getting very dangerous. There we go, rockets arriving, the Panzer's getting ready to... No, Knight's Cross with a Grenadier with MG getting ready for an assault. Artillery going in here. Threatening to tear through a lot of Americans. The engineers holding on, taking the point despite intense artillery. Rockets. Oh, direct hit from the Hummel. Obliterates the last man standing. And a rifleman squad gets wiped out as well. By Jove, that was nasty. 17 kills on the Hummel. It's definitely doing a great job. Whereas the Calliope so far have killed 18. And they're two about it. But Knight's Cross, Grenadiers with MG opening up there on the Riflemen. Having actually taken the victory point there. Probably should have been moving a bit over here a bit earlier, in fact. And sector artillery going in. Sector artillery. Should be careful there, don't stand still. You're still within range, I think. And there we go, Sun retreat. Sherman and Pershing opening up lots of Anti-tank grenades, most of them actually miss the target. Veteran 2 for the Sherman, actually quite nice, quite nice. Riflemen taking a beating as the Panzer Grenadiers continue their assault. And looks like another rifle squad goes down. Assault. Oh, rockets, rockets, lots of rockets. And there we go, the rifleman squad did die. Parti2an is down too. Well, not so much infantry. It's actually a bit late for the mid-game analysis, but let's have a slightly delayed mid-game analysis. Current situation, not so good for the Americans. They had a nice start, but they basically got bogged down right at this point where the Germans wanted to fight, instead of trying to fight where they might not want to, like, for example, over here on this side of the house. Though I think here would have been better. Nice open ground. Could have pushed through, caused some damage, and forced them away from the prepared positions. Then when, okay, the Germans prepare there, they then shift over there. Oh well, either way, they have suffered a lot. And again, the reason the thing that going both with the same doctrine, of course, also limits their ability, and particularly their ability to, react to these Panzer Grenadier hordes again. Had there been a strafing run or, say, an artillery strike, I mean, this could have been much easier dealt with. Sadly, that is not the case. And again, what also was a problem was basically all of their doctrinal abilities then, of course, become much later in game usage, rather, for example, with having something a bit early which could tip the favour much more quicker in their favour, and perhaps before the Germans bring up their own stuff. So in that sense, also some problems. The medic stations were nice, but again a bit poorly placed in some cases. For the Americans to win, I think they need to push up, then they need to clear up the Hummels, they need to flank these positions, do some damage, and they need to sort of draw all of the troops away from here where they can fight a bit easier. The Germans need to hold on to this, they need to keep this a bit guarded, obviously, and they also need to make some penetrations up here again, further spreading out the American players, and I also think they need to push out a bit there. But let's return to the fight, and let's have a look at raresb99 again, who's gone blitzkrieg, but so far we've actually not seen anything that denotes blitzkrieg. Not a single stormtrooper score with assault rifles, not a single Stu 42. Lots of infantry though. Panthers getting blasted. Half-tacks getting blasted. Panthers though continuing upwards, running straight into the Pershing and the Sherman. Shermans have not been outgunned. That could have been an idea. Looks like a Panther could go down. Marders though opening up on the flank. Field repairs is up. Panther though holding up. Sherman needs to get away. Sherman needs to get away. If only he had smoke charge, he could actually help it retreat that way. But the Veteran 2 Sherman is lost. Tragic. Very tragic. And the M10 rolls up with field repairs on it. Not entirely sure what Ourson is intending here. Should go for a war machine if he tends things like that. And since he has to climb, he does have the ability. So that's just a waste of M10s. Frankly put, doesn't really make much sense. I mean, I can understand he's trying to get the Panther, but main gun destroyed, but he does not get the kill unless some sort of Calliope barrage comes in. Come on, Calliopes. Fire for once and hit something. And there we go. The Calliope rockets do fly in, knocking out the Panther, damaging the other one quite a bit. Killing a few pioneers. In fact, knocking them out. Another Calliope barrage. This could be the end. Nope. And we are seeing counter-artillery from the Hummel. Oh my god, he had the rifleman blobbed up behind it! Who blobs up rifleman close to an artillery target? Again, think about high priority targets. They're things that are just going to get hit by artillery. Close to your own artillery, for example, is a good thing. Medic station, medic bank, stuff like that, and he just held it there. Oh, bloody hell, Gott im Himmel! Those Hummels are just raining down hell. 29 kills on that one. Pershing now pushes up on the right hand side. Manpower blitz up for raresb99. Clearing out the medics. The forward barracks. Tanks moving up. Grenadiers here can't do much. In fact, they haven't really had much to do. Bit of a shame. Half track down. Pershing and Sherman having no problem with the false Grenadiers. No response from Rares. Looks like the Americans are actually making the advance they wanted. despite having just had most of the infantry mutilated. They need to keep up the pressure. They need to take the victory point there. They need to do some damage here. Marder rolling up. Grenadiers reforming again. He's definitely getting some use out of that medic bunker. Dual Panzerx now being equipped. A desperate effort from the Panzer Brigade to try and stem the armoured flow of the 3rd Armoured Division. There a swift counterattack in the centre. Ooh, securing an anti-tank gun with Panzer Grenadiers. Bit expensive, but I suppose if he feels he has nothing else. Panthers. raresb99 inquires. Panzerkampfwagen 5s. Knights Cross in trouble. Ourson moving forwards with some infantry. Less shot up. He's also got a rifle squad reform there, so he might want to use that as well. And the Hummel fires away again. Careful, careful. Is he firing both of them there? That seems just weird. And there we go. Panzer Grenadiers taking heavy losses for the Knights Cross. Finally, the Americans are making some progress, some headway. They're causing the Germans some losses. The Pershing proving quite handy in that department. And the Clark is even doing something. Ooh. Veteran free on that one. Jolly good. But more armor, more infantry. Schnell, schnell. And of course, the Germans need to counterattack quickly with some Panthers. Perhaps some Panzer IVs if nothing else can be mustered. Perhaps a pack. Marder holding things up here. Perhaps should have been more behind the infantry to provide, support against the tanks. Anti-tank are going to get overwhelmed. The Americans continue forwards. Looks like the right-hand side is collapsed. And if they could just detach a single Sherman or tank destroyer to deal with these Hummels, that would be perfect. I mean, it would just require one. And those, well, artillery pieces would be denied to the Germans, which would definitely make it much easier for the Americans to hold any ground. They need those Hummels gone. They are a priority target. And it requires them to move either tank destroyer Sherman up and basically knock the stuffing out of them. A single Knights Cross squad's left to deal with that. There we go. Panther moving up, supported by Grenadiers. First goes Knights Cross. Shermans and Pershings. No upgun, though. I would like to see an upgun. And there we go. Panther moves forward, taking heavy fire from the Shermans and the Pershing. Rear armor hit from the Sherman. Nicely done, nicely done. Infantry moving up, and again, note, Grenadiers only fire the MG if they stand still. The MG needs to be, standing still to fire. Heavy losses inflicted. The Germans are beginning to stumble now under the pressure. But again, as long as they have the Hummels, they have something to sort of equalize things with their very heavy artillery. And again, if something was to happen, that could definitely undermine the entire process. And again, would all require was Gangnamstyle unleashed Parti2an or Ourson unleashed a single tank destroyer, and that would be it.
We are losing ammunition.
Another Pershing arrives now from Ourson. Machine gun plates going up in the center, but coming under heavy fire. Main gun destroyed on the Pershing. Direct hit from the Hummels. Rockets going in from the Stukas and Fools as well. Pershing and Sherman pulling up. Their Grenadier squad could go down. Oh, the Grenadier dodges it, but misses with his own Panzer rocket. Now he's forced away, and Panthers arrive now from Gangnamstyle as well. More Panthers. Immer mehr Panzerkampfwagen 5. And the Panther moves in, just dodging a wave of rockets, but the other one goes down. One Panther left for raresb99. Marder still there. Panzer guns with Panzerx still there. Panther, though, needs to turn about. He's exposing his rear to the Pershing. Field repairs up for everyone to basically fix their stuff, and just instead of just getting engineers. A bit of progress being made there. That is all right. Pershing forced away. The Marder and Panther proving too much. American arm on the move. The Pershing, though, has not been repaired. It's not been repaired. The field repairs did not do enough. Wait, get the engineers on it. He is going in for the Hummels, I think, with 29 kills on that one, which is nice, but still, repair the Pershing. One swift counterattack from the Panthers, and he's even sending it in first. He's not having the Shermans lead, for heaven's sake. And there we go, Hummel under fire as it is, firing itself. Nasty damage being inflicted on the Hummel. Infantry moving in, booby traps going off. Volkswagen could go down. And there we go, the Hummel is lost. Veterancy free for the Pershing, but it won't be able to enjoy it much because, again, lacking health, it's not been repaired. And now rockets going in, and there we go, Grenadiers moving up. Going to flank it with Panzer VI. And there we go, the Pershing is out of control. What a waste, what a waste. Had he simply repaired it, instead the response was too quick and too deadly. Pershing here holding up behind the building. They're still getting blasted with rockets. Marder also still there. BAR left behind. And there we go. The Panthers are on the hunt. Shermans are simply getting knocked out one by one as they try to escape. An absolutely chaotic retreat. And looks like the other Pershing is gone as well. Another Pershing though arrives. So many Pershings being lost in this fight. More rockets unleashed. Engineers very close, very close. The remaining Hummel doing quite a bit of damage. Grenadiers with Panzer moving up to flank out that Sherman. So little infantry, if any, left now for Parti2an and Ourson. The medic station, they're still standing, impressively enough. Grenadiers getting blasted again and again. Sherman gone. More Panzer Grenadiers for Gangnamstyle, who's now lost all of the assault rifles except one, who's still there doing nasty damage, and now replacing it with more. Oh dear, 61 points left for the Americans. Nasty, nasty, and returning to Ourson. Knight's Cross just getting mutilated by the armor. Panthers pulling up. And the Marders still holding out. In the name of the fatherland. Another Calliope barrage was also later a war weapon. The Americans actually also had this sort of rocket, though not quite as many, actually mounted on a truck. It was called the xylophone, of all things. Panther moving up, supported by Panzer Grenadiers. Also another fun fact about the Panzer Brigade is they actually didn't have a lot of artillery. Again, they were not supposed to have a lot of heavy stuff. At most, and this would have been an attachment from Wales. Otherwise, they mostly had stuff. The heaviest they had would have been this. A Stuka zur Fuß. Otherwise, they had mortars on half tracks. Well, they did not really have those, and they must have been tied in from another division or unit, I suppose. Rockets going in. Engineers getting blasted. Half track moving in. Now Pattons gets tank destroyers. And there we go. Quickly sorted out by the Panther. And another Pershing arrives. So many Pershings. And the upgun Sherman facing the Panther. Moving straight in front of the Panzers with their Panzer VI. Pershing arrives. Another tank destroyer moves in from Parti2an. And no attempt at Allied war machine from the Americans. Oh, Grenadier squad going down here. Heavy Calliope barrage again. And this one's getting blasted by the Marder again. He seemed to be a bit reckless around that Marder. That's absolutely incredible. And there we go. Calliope actually bites the dust, basically due to Ourson being utterly reckless. Fighting up here, not doing too well. The American is quickly pulling back due to swift and heavy German resistance. Taking on the Marder directly. Bit of a gamble, bit of a gamble. Rifleman with a Panzerschreck, it looks like. Pershing actually misses. And there we go, the Marder is lost. Central victory point being secured by a Panzer squad. Panther pulls away. The Allies are in a terrible condition. The 3rd Armoured has taken heavy losses. Sticky bombs and Panzerschreck galore. A Tiger arrives also from some other Corps Reserve. Moves forwards. Panther is immobilized. Treads are gone. Engine is gone. Rifleman down. Panzerschreck left behind. This is an absolute disaster. Unmitigated. So many tanks lost. So much infantry lost.
Enemy unit down.
And again, field repairs. I mean, I enjoy the Valor, but I mean, at least a bit of Valor War Machine could do good. And now another Pershing Calliope, I mean, is going to go down. Another Veterancy free. So many Calliopes being wasted. And no attempt at Allied War Machine whatsoever. I'm not sure if they're doing it on principle or what. Bloody fight though, bloody fight. Troops reinforcing. Grenade, grenade. And another Hummel arrives. Panthers are pulling back for repairs. No repair bunkers though, that would have been nice. And there we go, another armoured frontage being provided by the Allies. 2 Pershings, 2 Shermans. Tiger though is at the front line. Schwere Panzer, Achtung. Coming under heavy fire now. The Calliopes unleash all kinds of hell as well. Already down to half health. They could just keep firing at it. They could get it down. But no, they're actually pulling back. And artillery knocks out one of the Sherman. Sherman went down to the Hummel. Now the Pershing and Sherman's pulling forward again straight through the artillery. And the Stukas are first. Direct hit from the Tiger. They should not have been pulling backwards. They should have just been pushing forwards and trying to pressure the Tiger. Instead now they might get knocked out. Tiger though is now hiding behind the ruins. Not in a good condition itself. And the Pershing went down. The Grenadiers got him with a Panzerschreck. And there we go. GG from Ourson. And sector artillery. GG from Marders. Panthers repair moving out forwards. Nicely done there. GG from Gangnamstyle. Speeding things up a bit. And another Hummel barrage clearing out another infantry unit. And another Pershing. Definitely a lot of Pershings lost in this fight. Definitely a lot. And there we go. Game over. Ultimately a loss for the Americans. They had some bright moments, but ultimately a bit too grindy, a bit too poor placement of medic stations, and you know, again going for the same doctrine, losing a lot of flexibility and a lot of options. Again, strafing runs could easily have, you know, defeated that Panzer blobber. Again, had they done that, might have looked a lot different, but also some wrong choices. Again, some lack of using the mobility over here, and you know, again, not repairing the Pershing fully. The Germans, you know, held up all right. Wehrmacht player could perhaps have been a bit more active at times. Veterancy, though, was a good move. Medic bunker was a nice move. Armor handling was overall nice. Panzer Grenadier player, though, a Panzer player, needs to stop blobbing up with his Panzer Grenadiers. Good uses, though, of the Marders and the Panthers. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed this match. Hope you learned something from it. If you did, why not subscribe, tell your friends. If you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dane saying cheers, and feel free to follow me on Facebook or Twitter.